What is going on, everyone? Today is time for Week 6 NFL picks and predictions. Last week we went 8-6 on the week, so not one of our best weeks. But on the season total, we are still 44-34, which is pretty decent. I was kind of looking at the best pickers in the world on Pigsky and Pick'em, which is the site that I use, or on ESPN. And the record is right there, 57-20. Those are really crazy records. Some people are really insane with picking the games. We're trying to get to that level. We're trying to do better, get a better percentage here. But yeah, so the teams on bye here this week, we're only going to have 14 games just like last week because there's some teams on bye. We have obviously the undefeated Chiefs and the undefeated Vikings among the teams here on bye. So that is kind of interesting and something to take note of. Last week I gave you, I believe, 2 upsets. I went 1 for 2 on the upsets that I gave you. I was correct on the Falcons over the Bucks, which only 30% of people had. But there were some other upsets like the Cardinals over the 49ers and the Giants over the Seahawks that really not a lot of people had. So I'm going to give you the upsets first. The first upsets I have, the first upset is Dallas over Detroit. I like this one. Only 22% of people have Dallas at the moment. This game is going to be in Dallas. I keep on saying it, but I think that Detroit plays better at home, and I think that that's going to play a big part in this game. I think that the Lions have had a light schedule up to this point. They're 3-1, and those games are versus the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams, and they've lost to the Bucks. So to me, that's not super impressive. And the Cowboys have impressed me. Besides the bad loss versus New Orleans in Week 2, I think they've looked pretty decent. I think under the 4th year, under Mike McCarthy, they're looking pretty good, 3-2 up to this point, and they have a chance to do good things in their division, maybe win over the Eagles, maybe take that division over the Eagles. And then the other upset that I have here this week that I don't like quite as much is the Jets over the Bills, but I still think that there's a chance here. Only 19% of people are picking the Jets. This is a divisional game. It's at MetLife Stadium on Monday night. It kind of just screams upset pick in my mind, and it kind of just makes sense that by the end of this game, both of these teams kind of finish 3-3, tied in the division, and when the Bills play good quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud and Lamar Jackson, they have struggled and they've lost. So, Aaron Rodgers to me is still a good quarterback, and it'll be interesting to see how the Bills play. But I'll take the Jets in an upset. And then the 4 locks I have are the 49ers over the Seahawks, Bears over the Jags, the Green Bay Packers over the Cardinals, and the Texans over the Pats. And so let's go from the top here. The 49ers, to me, I didn't want anything with this game to begin with because I thought it could be a weird divisional game where the Seahawks kind of win at home. But to me, the 49ers are 0-2 in the division versus the Rams and the Cardinals, so I think they're almost fighting for their season at this point. Losing 2 games like that right off the bat in your division is not a good thing, so they need a division win desperately, and they're coming off a bad loss to the Cardinals, but I think that they can play better and turn the ball over less. So give me the 49ers. I think they're desperate. I think they win that one at least by a touchdown. Then you have the Bears at the Jags. Like I said, I think this is an interesting game. This one, to me, will be within 3. I am higher on the Jaguars than a lot of people are. I think that the Jaguars are a better 1-4 than a lot of people say. They've lost to the Dolphins in Week 1. They've lost to the Bills and the Texans. And then they've beaten the Colts and lost to the Browns. So to me, that's not super horrible. I know they're not exactly where they want to be at this point in the season, but that's not horrible. And I think that Caleb Williams is looking more comfortable. I think last week and the week before he's looked more efficient. And the Bears are not a bad team whatsoever. They're 3-2. They were a 7-win team last year, and they've only added pieces. I think they're just kind of starting to mesh now. And this is the 3rd game in a row at home for the Bears. So give me the Bears at home, 3rd game in a row. I like this one, but it will be close. Then you have the Packers over the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not as high on the Arizona Cardinals as some. They are coming off a big win versus the 49ers, but I attribute that a lot to the 49ers turning the ball over 3 times. Will that happen versus Green Bay? I don't know. I don't think so. And I think that Arizona is kind of sporadic. They lost 42-14 versus Washington, and Kyler hasn't really impressed me throwing. He has, obviously, with the running attack with James Conner, but I think if Green Bay get ahead, they're going to be tough to catch. I also obviously like Matt LaFleur more as a head coach in this game, so give me the Green Bay Packers to win this game pretty handily. Then you have the final one here for you guys. I have the Texans over the Patriots. The Patriots may be the worst team in the NFL. They probably are, over the Carolina Panthers. And, last week it didn't even look like the Patriots wanted to win. They played the Dolphins, and they lost to a Tyler Huntley-led Dolphin team that didn't even have a touchdown. They had an interception, 190 yards. I don't even understand how the Patriots won that Week 1 game versus the Bengals, but give me the C.J. Stroud-led Texans, who are one of the funnest teams to watch, and they just look really good, really impressive after that win last week versus the Bills, and I think they get to 5-1 here. So those are my locks and upsets. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.